Hello everyone. So let's create a Azure project, and in this project we are going to do the following steps. So first, what we will do, we will take some data from the on-premises system, so basically from the local computer, you can call it as on-premises, and then we will transform that particular data in the Azure portal, basically in the Azure tools. And after that, after transformation of the data, we will try to generate a report in the Power BI. So the first step will be to take the data from your local computer or the on-premises to the Azure Cloud, and we will do that using Azure Data Factory. Okay, so let's first do the step one. So the very first thing is I will go to my Azure account, and here in my storage, if I go to containers, so I have one folder called project fs, and in this container I have only one file right now. But I want to place my sales.csv file, so I have a file called sales.csv, and that I will upload, and then I will do the transformation. So how we can do that? So we will get the data from using the Azure Data Factory. So let's go to Azure Data Factory first. Let's try to create a pipeline. So the pipeline name I'm keeping as get data from on premises in the sort, and here we will use copy data activity. And the source, I will create a new source. So in our example, we are going to get the data from the local system. So just simply need to search file system, and if you click on continue, so the file that we have, it is in the CSV file. So it is in the CSV format. So we selected this one and we click on continue, and then it will ask you to select a link service. So I'm selecting the link service, which is I already created. So if you know how we can do that, we can have a separate video on that. So yeah, this is the link service, and in the link service, I need to browse the file where my file is kept. So it is already connected to my local system using integration runtime. And if I go to my file system, it will show me the entire path. I can go to users, and in my user I can browse the file where it is available. So it will take few seconds. So and then I will go to my username, and then inside the downloads I have that particular file which is placed. So let's wait for a few seconds when it is coming, and then I have the files in my download folder. So let me check. So here it should be okay. So where it is available, yeah, so this is the downloads, and in the downloads I have a file called sales.csv. so we will try to bring that in our Azure portal. So let's search for that particular file. So this is the sales.csv. I will click on OK, and then again nothing needs to be selected from here, so I will click on OK and wait for a few seconds, and then it should be available. Okay, so our source is available. Now we need to select the sink where we will place that particular file. So again, for the sink, you need to create a data set. So we will keep that inside the Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2. So basically we want to place our file in this particular container, which is in the project fs. So here we want to keep particular file. So let's select the Azure Gen 2, and then it is delimited text. Click on continue, and then we need to create a link service. So I need to select my subscription, and then it will ask you for the storage account name. So this is the storage account name, and then I will click on test connection first. So connection is successful, so create, and then it will ask you where you want to place the file. So we will select in which directory. So I want to keep my file in this particular directory, so I will simply click on OK, and then I will click on OK. So our source is ready and our sink is ready. Source will be the local file system from where we will get the data. Sink will be our Azure path where we want to place the file. So now we will run our pipeline. So let's click on debug, and if there is no mistakes or errors, we should be getting our file in the project df container. So after that we will get the data. So it will take few seconds, and then after when we will get the data, then we will, according to our steps, after that we will go to the Azure Databricks, and from the Azure Databricks we will try to connect to the ADLS, and then we will do some transformations. We will try to read the file which will be in our project fs folder. So we will do the transformation from Databricks, and then after doing some transformation we will again send the data back to the Azure SQL. So it's saying successful, so succeeded. So what we will try to refresh, and I think our file should be available here. So as you can see, our sales.csv is available, and if you try to see the records that is available in this file, so this is the records that we have. So we have almost 81 records. So this is the data that is available with us. Now next step will be, we will try to go to the Databricks, and from the Databricks we will do the transformation. So first you need to create the Databricks, and then so I have already, my cluster is set up, so I will directly try to connect to the ADLS. I mean, I want to read the data from sales.csv. So for that, what I need to do, so I will create a notebook, and from our notebook, so the very first thing that we need to do is, I have some records available with me, so we need to mount the data. So in the Databricks, we need to do few things. So the first thing will be to mount the storage. So you can see we have the source, we have the mount point, and we have the extra configuration that we need to do. So here is the container name. So in our storage account, we have the container name. So we need to give the container name here, and here we need to give the storage name, and other things will be same. You don't need to do anything with that. So our container name, so what is it? So just go to your project storage, and go to containers, and then containers, select your container name. Okay, so select the container name. So this will be our container name. Okay, and storage name. So what will be the storage name? So your storage name is project source. So this is the storage name. So you need to give, in the place of a storage name, you need to give. So again, storage name it is asking again. So we will place the storage name here, and then at this place you need to place the access key. So for the access key, what you need to do, you need to go to your storage, the container, so project source, and here you will have somewhere access key. So in the access key, you need to show the access key, and you just copy this one, and then you simply paste the access key. So it is not copied, so just copy this one, and in the place of, so now I pasted my access key for my particular container. So everything seems fine, and now just try to run this one. So I will simply try to run, and I am pressing Shift Enter. So if data is correct, it should be successful, and if there is some mistake, we will try to correct that. So it is running for the first time, I think. No, it's already there. So just wait for a few seconds, and so yes, we have got some errors. So we need to correct the error. So what the error is saying is sales data. So it says path does not exist. Okay, and yeah, it is returning true. And this time, now if we try to execute, it should not give any result, so it's fine. Okay, and now if we try to display, so in this time, if we try to display, we should be able to see the data. Okay, so as you can see, we are able to see the data. So but now what we want to do is, from this particular data frame, we want to query some results, and based on the query, based on whatever we write, we will do the transformation. So basically we want to have the facility of SQL, so we will be able to do the query against this data frame. But since it is a data frame, we cannot directly query just like SQL, so we need to create the view. So we will create the view, and from the view we will try to execute the query. Okay, so let's run this one. So based on this data frame, we are creating a view, and its name will be sales_data. So let's try and execute. So we are executing this one, and now in the next cell, just select as a SQL, and just to do select star from, and then it's sales data. So just do select a star from sales data and try to run this cell. So this time you should be able to see the records. So you can see we are just querying just like our SQL. Okay, so after this, what we want to do, we want to do some useful queries, we want to do some useful transformations. Okay, so first try to see what table we have. So we have a sales table where we have the order ID, order date, customer ID, customer name, product name, and category, discount, and the region, in which region it belongs to. So let's try to do some transformation. So just start with the first one. So the very first thing that we need to do, so let's go with the first one. I have some query already. I have. So I will delete this one and just paste the query. So what I want to do is, from the SQL query, I want to get the total sales by region. So in which region I have how much sales I want to know. So for that, what we need to do, we will have a query where we will select the region, that from which region we want to know, in which region how much sales we have. So we are writing the query, select region, then we are doing a sum based on the price. So we have a price column. Okay, so let's say if we have region north, and we have another region north, and again we have another region north, and we have another region north. So we have at the 4 places we have region as north. So we want to have the summation of all the price. So price basically here is the sales amount. So we are selecting the region and the price, summation of all the price, and we will call it as the total sales, and we are getting from the sales data. So basically our view, this is working as a table. So we are getting from the sales data, and we are grouping the records by the region. Okay, and then we are storing it into a data frame, and we are trying to so first run this part. Okay, and then when it will be completed, just try to run this part. And when I run this, I should be able to get the results based on, so in the south region I have that amount of sale, in the east region I have this amount of sale. So likewise we have other details, and now we are storing it. So this is the result that we have, and now we are storing it in this particular region sales data frame. And now this time, so what we want to do, we got some result by doing the SQL queries, and then this time I want to send the data back to our SQL. Okay, so what we will do, so we need to have few things which should be configured. So we need to write database table name. So in the database, what you want to call it, I mean your table name. So I want to keep my table name as total_sales by region, and in the URL, nothing you need to change here, JDBC SQL Server. Here I need to give my server name. So how we will get that? So we need to go to home, and I have my server name as Anmol KS server. So this is my server name. So I will simply click on that. So this is my server name. So I will put it here, Anmol KS server, and at last we need to give the database name. So we will also find our database. So our database is Anmol DB. So this is our database name. So we need to put the database name here. And now here at this place, at the user, you need to give for the SQL server whatever username you have provided. So username I have provided is as Anmol KS server. So this is our username. So this will be it. And we also need to provide the password. So I have put some random password for my, so I will show you. First I will go to home, and then I will go to the DB, and then I will try to connect to the database. So you can see this username here, and here is the password. So I just want to see that I'm able to connect to the server or not. So just we are trying to see, and now I'm logged in. So I mean the details are correct. So I have a random password here. So it's a random character. So this is the password for the SQL server. And now if I try to run, it should be able to write this table. So I mean the total sales by region. So in the database currently, if I expand the table, we don't have anything. Even if we refresh, we don't have anything. But if it is successful, then we should have the table. So run the selected. So the shortcut for it is Control-Shift-Enter. So we don't need to go here. You just simply press from the keyboard Control-Shift and Enter. So just click on that, and we are getting some error. And what is the error? So okay, so the error says region sales DF is not defined. Okay, so I think we did not run this one, right? So run this one. Okay, and now this time if we run, we should be able to get the results. So it is running, and now this time if we go to our Azure SQL, so it seems successful. So if we go to our database, just refresh the tables, and here you see we have the results. So you can see by region we have got the result. So we have done our first simple transformation. Okay, and after that we will go with another transformation. Okay, so this was our first transformation. So let's place another one. So this time we will get some other records. So this time we will try to get the product category. So we'll try to get the sales by the specific category. So this time again, so I am directly pasting the code, and you can simply understand what we are trying to do. We are trying to select the product name, and we are trying to sum up all the sales, which is a price here, and we will call the column name as the total sales. We are getting from the sales data, and where category is electronics. So we don't want to keep the groceries here. We will simply keep the category as electronics, because if you go to your category section, we have many records, so you'll not be able to get all the all the records here, but we have other categories as well. We have groceries, we have got sports. So we want to get all the products which category is electronics. Okay, so and that's what we are trying to do, and we are grouping by the product name. So that is the one, and we will try to execute this one. So Control Shift Enter, and it is running, and we will try to show this record again. Control Shift Enter, and you can see a smartwatch. So let's say 5 times a smartwatch was sold. So smartwatch has a total sales of this, laptops have a total sales of this, camera total sales this amount. Likewise, we have got the records. Okay, and now we will store it in data frame. Okay, and now again, just like the previous step, what we need to do, we just simply so it makes your username is correct. So my username is okay, and the password, that is also okay, and the server name and the database name. So if we try to run this time, Control Shift Enter, so we should have a table name called electronics sales. So this time refresh the tables, and you see we have the record. So you see the record we are getting in the Azure SQL. So this was the second transformation. Okay, and again we will go with the third transformations. Okay, so this time what we want to get, we want to get all the products which type is tablet. So let's go for another transformation. Okay, so let's go with third one, and this time again also we are fetching the product name, and we are summing up the price, I mean the sales, and we are getting from the sales data product name is laptop or product name is tablet. So this time what we are trying to do, we are trying to get all the products which is coming under the laptop or the tablet. So if we go to the product name table, so this is the, let's go to, where is the product name? Yeah, this one. So we have camera, we have laptop, we have tablet. So likewise we have the product names. Okay, so we are trying to get in the where clause, we are trying to place only those records which product name is laptop or product name is tablet, and we are grouping them based on the product name. So let's try to run this one, and then we will try to see what records we are getting. So just run this part, and we should be able to see laptop has a total sales of this, and tablet has a total sales of this. Okay, and again this time it's the repetitive step, so we just simply run this part as well, and this time we should have the laptop underscore tablet underscore sales. So this should be available under the tables. So again you see we have this record as well. Okay, so our next transformation that we will do is we will try to get the sales by the customer. Okay, so by the customer ID. So let's go with that part as well, and then we will finish up with few more transformation. So okay, so this time what we are trying to do, we are trying to fetch the customer ID, and we are trying to fetch the total sales from the table, and we are grouping them based on the customer ID. Okay, so let's say one customer is buying many products, so we will have the same customer ID, but that particular customer, if they are buying many products, so we want to know which customer have bought how many items, or basically we want to get the sales based on the customer ID. So that's we are trying to do. So if we try to run this one, Control Shift Enter, and till it is running, let's go to our very first table. So we have somewhere we should have the customer ID. So yeah, this is the customer ID that you see, and we have different customer ID available here. So one customer can buy many products, so we are grouping them based on the customer ID. So it should be running, yes. And if we try to get the result, so we will have many results because we have many customers, but result that we are getting is the based on the customer ID. And we will try to load this in our data frame. So we are loading in the data frame, and then as usual we are storing them in Azure SQL Database. So we have this transformation as well. And now again, so we will do one or two more transformations. So this time what we want to do, we want to get the average discount by every region. So we have the region as north, south, like that. So we want to know which region is giving how much discount. So this time we want to calculate that particular one. So let's go with that. So what we are doing, we are selecting the region, and we are trying to fetch the discount. So here we are using the round function. So if the discount is coming as a decimal point, we want to round off with only 2 characters after the point. And so we are rounding off the discount and from the sales data, and we are grouping them by region. So we want to know which region is giving how much discount. So let's run these two first. So yes, it is showing the south is giving 7.75% of discount, east is giving 8.5, west is giving 6.89, and north is giving 6.67. So just try to load in the data frame and simply write it in SQL, in Azure SQL. Okay. And our next transformation and the last transformation will be, we want to know the sales by every month. So that will be our last transformation. So at this time, what we are trying to do, we are selecting the order date. So we have an order date column. So if you go on the top, we have a column called order date. Okay. And so in the order date, we have the year, date, and month. So we want to know in which month how much sales have been done. So we are formatting, we are using the date format, and we are trying to see, we are converting it. We want to see the name of the month, and that's why we have given as MMM as a month. And we are trying to calculate the total sales, and we are again grouping them based on the order date. So in which month. So better when we will run this one, and then better with the visual we'll be able to understand. So you see in the January, the sales was that particular rupees. In the February, this amount. In the January, this amount. In the July, we have this particular amount, like that. And yeah, so this is we have. And now we will write these records in our Azure SQL. So our last table that we should have is sales by month. So if we refresh, under the tables, we should have all these tables. So we have total of 6 tables. And the next thing that we will do is, so now what we did, initially we tried to get the data from our on-premises system to our Azure, and from the Azure Cloud, once we have the data, we are transforming with the help of the Databricks. And this is not a complex transformation, it is just a basic thing, but we can do more and more in the future videos. So yeah, this is the one. And now from our Azure Synapse, our next step will be, from Azure Synapse we will try to add some more transformations. So our goal is to show which tools we can use in which way. If we have the complex data, we can do some more complex transformations. So we will go to Azure Synapse, and then we will see what we can do. So let's go to Azure Synapse this time. So we will go to home, and we will select as the Synapse workspace, and now we will try to launch this one. So we will click on open, and in few seconds our Azure Synapse should be ready. So and then this time we will try to go ahead with further transformations. Again, this could be done in the Data Factory as well, but I'm trying to show that we can do this thing from Synapse as well. Okay, so let's go here and let's go to Data tab. So what we need to do is we will try to create a pipeline, and we will try to create a data flow. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. So let's go and create a pipeline. Okay, and so it's taking some time. And in the pipeline, what we will do, we will try to add some data flow. Okay, so just use a data flow here. Okay, so in the data flow, just in the settings, we need to have one data flow. So we will create one, and here we will add all the sources. So what sources? So we have got many tables. So what we will do, let's go to home, and then let's go to Anmol DB. Okay, and in the query editor, let's try to connect to it. Okay, and we have 6 tables. So we want to do some transformation based on few tables, not all of them. So our first source will be, so we want to have the source as our table. Okay, so let's click on the data set, and our source is Azure SQL Database. So we will select that one. We will click on continue, and we will try to create the data source. So the name we can let's keep it as default. Select the subscription, and select the server name. So my server name is Anmol server. Okay, and also in the database name, so our database name is Anmol DB, and our authentication type, so it's SQL authentication. And here our username, what is our username? So it's let's go to server again, and SQL server. So I think this is our username. Yes, this is the username, and our password, we will try to provide the password and try to test the connection first. Okay, so it will take few seconds, and connection is successful, and just click on create. Okay, and after the successful completion, it will ask you to provide which table. So we are connected to the database, but which table you want to keep it as your source. So we want to select the table which is total sales by region. So this one we want to keep it as a source, and we will click on OK. Okay, so it will take few seconds. Okay, and this is the source, so we want to name it as sales by region. So this is our source name. Okay, and our next source will be, so we have one source and we will keep another source which is electronic sales. So we also have that one. So let's try to create the data set for that. So just click on Azure SQL, click on continue, select our connection, and this time the table name that we want to keep is electronic sales. So this table we want to keep as a source. Click on OK. This is the second one. Okay, so name it as electronic sales. So this is the second source. So third source, again we will add the data set. Again it will be Azure SQL. Click on continue, select the link service, and in this one which table you want to keep. So this one I want to keep it as average discount by region. So select this one. It will take few seconds. Okay, so this is also ready. We will add one more source. Okay, we click on continue, Azure SQL, click on continue, and Azure SQL Database, and again which table you want to keep. So we want to keep it as, we have one more table called laptop tablet sales. So select this one, click on OK. So we have these are the sources, and we will try to do something with this and just add one last data set. So click on add Azure SQL Database, click on continue, select the link service, and again from the table name which table we want. So this time we want sales by month, so we want to know cumulative sales. So click on OK. Okay, so we have selected all these sources. Okay, so the last one, this one was sales by month. Okay, and what was this one? Source 1. So let's try to see what was in this data set. So it was average discount by region. So just give it a meaningful name, average discount by region. Okay, and what was about this one? Just click on it, click on open, and it will show you which table it was. So it's a laptop tablet sales. So it is laptop tablet sales. Okay, and we have got all the sources. Okay, so let's start with the first one, the very first record of a very first source that we have. So what we want to do, so we want to calculate in every region how much discount is getting offered in which region. Okay, so with this one, so sales by region, and we have average discount by region. So we want to join these two. Okay, so just click on the plus button. Okay, and we'll try to join, and we will join with third one, which is average discount by region. So in which region how much discount is getting provided, we want to know that. So selected this one. So left stream is sales by region, and our right stream will be average discount by region. Okay, and then we will give the join condition. So in the first table we will select as a region, and the second it's the same name and the region. Okay, and we will try to first turn on our data flow debug. Okay, so we are trying to join these two particular tables, and we should be able to get which region is providing how much discount. Okay, so yeah, this is the one. So let's wait for the data flow debug to be finished. Okay, so our data debug is on. Okay, and now we want to preview the data. So just click on the data preview and click on refresh. You should be able to get the data. So we should be getting the data. So in which region providing how much discount. So we should be getting the data very soon. And after this, so this was the source, and we did some transformations, and after that we will try to push it to the sink. So our sink could be data lake storage, or we can place it in SQL as well. So since we want to use the Power BI, and from the Power BI we will try to connect to the Azure SQL. So our sink will be again the Azure SQL, and we will have one more table. Okay, so this is what we are getting. So in the So 2 times this is coming, but when we will add the sync, you'll be able to see we'll have only 1 time, not the 2 times. So the total sales is this one, and the discount we are getting at 7.75%. Likewise we have for all the 4 records. So this time now what we will do, we will add a sync to it. So let's click on the sync, and for the sync, our sync will be again Azure SQL Database. We will select the record, okay, and this time it will be in a new table. So previously we were selecting and it was selecting from the database, it was showing all the tables, but this time we need to give the table name, okay, manually. So just keep it as DBO, and then we can name it as region sales with discount, okay, and click on OK. Okay, and this time if we click on this on the data preview, and if we refresh, you can see here we had 4 columns and here we have 3 columns. So this is the source transformation, and this is the final result. Again this time, so this was the first one, let's go with the second one. So we have the electronic sales, and we have few records in this one, and we can have many electronic items. So we want to filter which electronic items are of the, basically they have the high price. For example, we have the laptops and the tablets, they have the higher price compared to other electronic devices. So we will try to get some useful results from this table, okay. So this is our source, and we will do some filter on this, okay. So let's click on the plus, and then we will go with the filter operation, okay. And on the filter, on what basis we want to do the filter. So we'll select the products which are products as a laptop or product as a tablet. So this one we want to give. So incoming string we will keep as the electronic sales, and we need to give on which column we want to do the filter. So let's click on the open expression builder, okay, and here just keep the product name equals to, and then keep it as laptop, okay, or again product name, it could be tablet, okay. Save and finish, and click on the data preview and do a refresh, and then this time we should be getting the results which are, yeah, so you can see we have the laptop which have the total sales as this, and we have a tablet which have the total sales of this, okay. So we just did one basic filter transformation. We can do many more based on the data that we have. So, and again let's push it to the sync, okay. Again we need to have the data set for the sync. Select the Azure SQL Database, and again we want to push it to the new table. Let's call it as DBO dot, and then we can name it as high value electronics sales. We can name it like that. Click on OK. So this is our second transformation, okay. So we can do other transformations as well, but I'm just keeping it as the 2, and other things that we will directly, since these are already available in our Azure SQL, so we will directly use it from the Power BI. So just delete sales by month, I'm deleting this one, and also laptop tablet sales I'm deleting. So let me check if I have used in some other, so electronic sales I have used, and I have done the filter transformation. So this is not used, so I will simply delete this one, okay. And now what we will try to do, we will simply try to run this pipeline. So this was under a data flow, so from our pipeline we will simply try to debug, and then we will next go to the Power BI. So just click on the debug, and it is going to take some time, so we will wait for that. Okay, so pipeline has been succeeded. So inside our data flow we have done few things, and now we try to run the pipeline, and it is successful. So basically in our data flow we have added 2 new tables. So under sync 1 and sync 2 we have 2 tables. So let's go to our database, and from there just check that if we have got these 2 tables or not, okay. So let's go to the query editor, and let's try to connect and see if we have got these 2 tables, and after that we will have the final steps, which is from Power BI we will try to get some useful results. So we have some additional tables that you can see, high value electronic sales that we had added, and also region sales with discount. So this one we had added. So the final step is we will go to Power BI, and then we will try to connect with this. Okay, so next we are in the Power BI. So we are on the Power BI desktop. So for the connecting to the Azure SQL Database, just click on the Get Data. So we are clicking on the Get Data, and we are clicking on the More option, and then we will have somewhere options called Azure SQL Database, which is this one. Click on Connect, and then it will ask us about the server name and the database name. Okay, so we need to give the server name. So just go to our SQL server. So just go to SQL server, and here we have the server name, which is anmolkserver.database.windows.net. So we will copy this one, and we will go to Power BI, and we will put the server name, and also it's an optional, but we will also give the database name. So our database name is just AnmolDB. Okay, so just simply type, or we can go from here, just click on the database. Okay, and just simply copy AnmolDB, copy from here, and just give the name and click on OK. And then it should be asking about the username and the password as well. So just click on the database. In the database, it's asking for the username and the password, which we have seen earlier. So the username that we have is, just go to the database, which is AnmolDB, and just try to click on the query editor. So this was our username. So this is the username, and the password we need to provide. Okay, and we will click on the connect. Okay, and it will take a few seconds to connect to it, so wait until it's loading. So as you can see, it's loading all the tables from it. Okay, from that particular database. Okay, so we will select all of them. So let's select average discount by region, electronic sales, high value electronic sales, laptop tablet sales, region sales with discount, sales by month, total sales by month. Just click on load. Okay, so it will load the data, and then we will do our next step. Okay, okay, so our data is loaded. So now we will do something with this data. Okay, so on the text box, just select the text box and give some header. So let's give the name as sales analysis 2024. Just give name something like that. Just increase the font size as 28. Just keep this in the middle. Change the color as the red, and also under filter, just change some colors. Just go to properties, let's make it bold. Okay, and in the background, let's give the color as green. Okay, remove this filter. So let's select any record. So let's say we are selecting the clustered bar chart, this one, and for this we are selecting this one, and just select these two, and just keep the font like this. Just customize this one, and we can also use the clustered column chart. So if you want to see the data like this one, you can do. We can do some formatting. So just turn on the data labels, and also in the general we can have some borders, shadows that we can turn on, and we can also apply the setting, I mean the color name, that if let's say for the east, if you want to change some color, so let's change the color to this one. Let's say for the west, change the color to black, something like that. So we can change the color and other things. Okay, so it is sum of the average discount by region. So this was the first one. Okay, and if you want to change the title, we can do that. So we can write, let's keep it at this way. Okay, and so it is sum of the average discount by region. We can select other things as well. Let's say we from the Azure Synapse, we calculated region sales with discount. So in our Azure, in our data flow, so in our Synapse. Okay, it is closed. Okay, now it's there. Okay, so here we calculated for this one the sync that we had given in the sync. So our data was like this: reason, then total sales, and then the average discount. So this was the one, and the sync was, this was our final data. So it was reason, sales with discount. Okay, so reason, sales with discount is this one. Okay, so we can have the data based on this one as well. So let's select clustered column chart, this one, and let's keep it here. Okay, and let's select these three. Okay, and this way it is available, and we can do some formatting on this one. We can print the labels. We can, for the columns, we can have some settings. So go to general, effects, turn on the effects, and also we can change the title as well. So here let's go to this one. So let's sum of average discount and sum of total sales. So we can change like this. Okay, and next thing, if we want to see about electronic sales, or we can see some we want to have some data based on this table, which is high value electronic sales. So let's select a pie chart. So let's select a pie chart, and here let's arrange the font, which is okay this way. And this time we want to select high value electronic sales. So select these two columns, and we can see how much sales had been done on the laptop and the tablet. And again, for this one, we can have some visuals, some borders and shadows. We can change the titles as well. Same way, if we want to know the sales by month, so we can have the visualization based on that. So again, let's say if we use some chart based on this, so we can select sales by month, or we can select these two, click on OK, and again we can have effects turned on. Okay, we can change the color to any color would you like. So this way, so we can based on these tables we can generate all the visuals that we need, and we can also add slicers if needed. So this way we just saw, so it was just a very basic thing. We can have the very complex data set, and based on that data set we will have the transformations which is really complex, and we can do similar things. So it was just a simple project. So I hope you liked it, and in the future we will try to bring other videos. So it was not just a kind of tutorial, it was just to show how we can use Azure services and how we can connect them together, and we can get the useful information. So thank you for watching, and have a good day.